All right, welcome back to Family Community Media. We're kind of going to take a little spin here because we were closing up a different segment, and we got the news about Bill Cosby with this Me Too movement, and I had to take just take a few minutes out of the guys and hold him here and just kind of ask him about that, because who would better be able to comment on what's going on than three males himself. So of course everyone heard that Bill Cosby was found guilty, and he could face up to 30 years in jail based upon this last trial of aggravated sexual abuse. I believe that's what the charges was. But I want to just everyone knows this story has been ongoing, but I just want to ask one question to each and one of our panelists again. I'm sorry, I'm Lynn Davis, and I'm here with different panelists. And I want to ask each and every single one of them about this Me Too movement, about what do they feel about a celebrity, an 80-year-old celebrity like Bill Cosby, and the possibility of him doing 30 years. I just want a general overview of what they think about what's been going on and about where he is today, and the possibility of him facing this kind of time at his age. And I'm going to start off with you, Mark, because you're closest, and always put you in a hot seat. Next time you won't sit so close. But I just want to know, this Me Too movement that's been going on. This is the first thing that's happened. I just want your opinion.
Well, first about the Me Too movement?
I want your opinion about Bill Cosby. We're going to talk about Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby is an icon. Bill Cosby, from the Cosby Show to Fat Albert to the Puddin' Pops, and I was kind of shocked this happened. I would say I'm kind of shocked, and I was not shocked. But this man had a 5-year running show, the Cosby Show, #1, that showed how black families should be. And they were looked upon as great, not only from black America, but from white America. And what a great example for our people. And then for this to happen after 20-something years, I'm not saying, I don't know if he did it, he didn't do it, but after 20 years, go figure, I don't know. But this here should open up our eyes to let the people know that for years, our families have been trying to break down our families. And this right here is another way for them to break down our families, for us to look at this in a way that, wow, this is the way it's supposed to be. But it's not the way it's supposed to be. And I just hope that our people will just disconnect, question, and analyze, and then reprogram themselves. And look at the picture, and look how it's painted. Look how it's been tainted for so many years. And right now, in 2018, they're trying to do it again. But hopefully we are more smarter to realize that they're trying to break us down again. Yeah. That's all I can say about this. And, for the Me Too movement, us men need to have a men's movement. We need to support ourselves, to have a movement to support us and what we do. Women will take care of themselves, they support each other. But us men, I just don't know. What was the problem of us men just getting together, getting the movement, and just supporting each other?
Very powerful, very powerful. Wow, that was pretty deep. I gotta rewind the tape and listen to that a couple of times. I'm usually really deep, but that was excellent. I appreciate that answer. Elliot, your opinion.
Wow, Marky was powerful with what he said there. As far as Mr. Cosby, I share Mark's sentiment that was, quite frankly, was shocking. I didn't think that that was going to happen, and what what Mark is talking about, again, is something that I talked about in the last segment, and we talk about images matter, and it does matter to our community. And, you know, Mr. Cosby was someone that his image and something that he represented for the black community was a powerful symbol. You know, family. But moving forward, I would have to say that we have to take this opportunity. You know, even sometimes in negativity, we have to look at it as an opportunity. And we have to take this opportunity to understand that we have to build family, not just on television, not just the images sometimes that we see on TV, but we can use it as a template to say, you know what, we can create that in our own homes. And, you know, Cosby Show happens to be my all-time favorite show. I love to watch that show because of the images that it was portrayed. And to back it up a little bit, to say, just again to illustrate how powerful Mr. Cosby was that, and how images matter and how it's perceived in different ways. I remember people saying, Cosby Show is not reality. And I was on both sides of the coins. A lot of our people in our community didn't believe the Cosby Show was possible, but I always felt that that was possible. I always felt that that's the images that we need to strive for. And people of other races was like, that's just a TV show. But that was an image for us to be able to hold on to. So you kind of have to regroup a little bit here and just understand the realities of it as a human being. As Mark said, I don't know. You know, we don't know what happened in these particular situations as far as the Me Too. It's a tough situation. You know, I always feel a little funny talking about these things because I wasn't in the room when any of these, you know, situations occurred. However, I think that we have to, you know, start looking at it as men. We certainly have to start looking at it to take a little bit more precautions, especially black men who are famous, or men in general who are famous. We might have to start doing some extreme things like, you know, you might have your lawyer have paperwork ready to go. If you meet a young lady, clearly it will ruin the mood, but you may have to take a few minutes out of your moment to have them sign, and we have cell phones, you might have to record that. Unfortunately, this is unfortunately what we're living in. As Mark is saying, there's a Me Too movement that's, you know, pretty much coming out, and again, I'm not attacking that. I want to be very clear. I'm not attacking that, but we certainly have to react to that as well and protect ourselves, because it's not Mr. Cosby. There's numerous people that are going down with this, or, you know, being involved in it. So we have to try to evolve and try to figure out how can we, you know, protect ourselves as well in this, you know, very tumultuous time. So it's not that much I can really say, you know, about that. It is kind of shocking, and it is a little bit disappointing that this is even happening to an icon like that in our community.
Thank you so much, Elliot. Most powerful as well. That image, again, going back to the image, is very important. And he was an icon, and now it is not even an image for us, but it's tainting the other people looking from the outside in that this is how they really are. Yes. So it is unfortunate. And again, no one knows what really happened, but it is questionable that something like this came up 20 years later without DNA. I'm still trying to figure out how that works without DNA evidence going in. But that's, you know, he's had his time in court. So I'm going to just stop right there. And Ron, just get your opinion on what you think about celebrity Bill Cosby.
Well, you know, we're so divided today. I don't know what the truth is. You know, and with this Me Too movement, I think that would convict them, you know, because they're moving on. And whether it's true or not, we will never know. I don't think we'll never know. But if he has to serve any time, I'm just praying that he doesn't have to serve any time, you know, because of his age and his health. It's a wait and see. I'm just going to pray that you know, that he doesn't spend any time in prison, because, like I said, we don't know what the truth is. You got all these women coming forward, you know, 40 years after the fact, you know, and it's just not making sense. Yeah.
Let me just.
I just want to say one thing. I think what you said was so important, that he was convicted because of that Me Too movement.
I agree.
That is a powerful thing, but it also contradicts that when we have these unjustified police shootings, and there's movements and protesting going on. That doesn't change. But it's interesting how this has an effect, an impact, but all the other stuff that goes on with the unjustified shootings, that it doesn't make the system change.
Well, that's why I came up with my movement. It's called What About Us Movement. And it involves the media and the public, and let them know what's going on with the shootings and things like that. And, I mean, today what we do is when there's a shooting, we march, and we march for a couple of hours. It's all over. They're happy. We're done. You gotta let the media know, like NBC, CBS, let them know what's going on. Whether it's a local shooting, stop and frisk, the public needs to know that. Facebook, social media, the networks. And I think it can make a difference. And that's the What About Us movement.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
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 Excellent. We'll talk more about that.
I just want to say one quick thing, with regards to the Me Too and us as men. I think that everybody has to hold each other accountable. So for the ladies who's doing the Me Too, this is always uncomfortable to me because I always feel like this. My God, if somebody was sexually assaulted, that's very serious.
Absolutely.
And we should never dismiss that. So that's why it's always tough for me to talk about that. And I'm not a female, so it's even more trying to empathize with that, which is impossible. But I feel very, very, a great sense of passion about that. Like if somebody was touched inappropriately, we need to deal with that. However, we also need to deal with, and the ladies need to deal with, if people are being not truthful with that. They have to be attacked and called out. Just as men, if I know that somebody is doing whatever, quaaludes, or they touching girls inappropriately, we need to, as men, stand up and be like, yo, you're gonna get handled. Don't do that. And because it's messing both sides up. Because the girls that are out here not being truthful and they whatever, they're trying to get money, whatever the case may be, it's messing the whole movement up. And that's something we have to be really careful of. And that goes across the board in all movements.
In reality, this world, this is a very sexist world, I mean, in the United States, there's 93% of the men in jail. 93% of the people that are in jail today are men. 93% are men. And 85% of those, they come from families that hasn't, that's another way that has no fathers or, any background. But what I'm getting at is that we need something that can support us. We need a movement that supports us. There's no reason for all us men to be 93% of people in jail. We should have a support system for each other. Be able to come, and support and talk. Because I think that's what the problem with today. Yeah, that's like, what about us? Sit down and talk about our differences and what's going on in our lives. Because, when men hurt, they hurt other men. This is the bottom line. In the Me Too movement, What About Us movement, we should talk more about that, because that is definitely what's needed.
And that's always been a problem with the men, African Americans getting together. We need to get together. We need to get together.
Absolutely.
And talk things out. A lot of guys out there like headstrong. They feel like they're too tough to talk to you, or say hello, or just to communicate. We need to bond more. And, I think the more we bond together, get together, the stronger we become.
Absolutely.
So we got to start now. This is one of the worst times today.
I agree.
And we are so divided. So we got to support each other and work together.
And it makes our family stronger.
Yeah,
It makes our family stronger. Listen, when men in the household, being real, you have to have that balance. You have to have that balance in the household, man and woman. Even if the man isn't there, you still got to have that balance. In some of these families, you got these conditional fathers. Well, you know, if the male's not there, you know, you can come and talk to your son or daughter, but it has to be on the condition that you raise them the way I want to raise them. But everything has to be a balance, you know. And you got to realize sometimes with these men, you know, they want to be around their kids. They want to be around their kids. And sometimes, you know, by them not being around their kids, that makes them so mad. Makes them go out there and do the things that they do. You know, because your kids keep you alive. You know, and nowadays, you know, the system is so messed up that it just goes one way, and it's not supposed to be that way. It takes two.
Absolutely, I agree. There's an old saying, everybody knows the saying, and my brother's keeper. And I think that's something that we have to really look at. I was having a conversation before I came here with somebody when the news first broke about Mr. Cosby, and the person said to me, like, well, that ain't my life. I said, you're wrong, brother. It is. That does affect all of us. And we have that, like you're saying, we have that attitude, especially amongst black men. Let's be honest. I don't know if that happened to him. Marky's talking about, you know, having issues where, you know what, you have a child and you're not with the child's mother, and maybe he's going through it with that. It's not cool to just be like, oh, look, Mark's going through that, forget it. No, talk to Marky. Maybe he knows a little, maybe Ron knows a little something that can help him out. But we have to get involved with each other. But for some reason, and he's addressing that, for some reason we're not able to do that. I've actually attempted to, you know, do organizations like that, and I knew, I'm not gonna lie, I knew it was gonna be a problem, and it didn't work, you know, because of what you're talking about. For whatever reason, in our community, we're not able to say, open up, Ron, what's going on with you? And be able to, you know, am I my brother's keeper? And you have to feel that, though. You can't just say it. You have to feel that, because when you feel it, then you really care. If he tells me this is what happened with my lady, this is what happened with my kids, this is what happened with my baby mama drama, I can really contribute to you and tell you what you should do. That goes across the board, financially, business-wise, work-wise. You can come, you know, I'm having some problems right now financially. You know what? Let's sit down, let's talk about it. And we can give each other real ideas. But if you don't feel that, you're not going to be able to do it. Because you're going to communicate something to me and I'm going to be like, it ain't my life. Good for him. That's just, you know, we got to work on that. We got to work on that. If we do that, we'll make some great progress.
Well, thank you. That was awesome. Just going to close it up really quickly. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you here. And I will speak on that Me Too movement. I think, Mark, you touched on it. We do, you know, for the women who are true victims of that, we pray for their healing and move on from, you know, and that justice will be served in that sense. But we do have to say that women have to be accountable when they put themselves in circumstances. Are they agreeable to something, especially when it becomes to men of power and celebrity and status? And then, so you do, as a woman, you can't go to a hotel room at 3 a.m. expecting to just sit there and watch television. There's expectations, so you should not put yourself in those positions. So those are things that we as women have to be accountable for. But again, those are true victims out there who are victims of women that are drugged and are raped or sexually abused. We do feel for that, but also accountability and just knowing your whereabouts and not, hopefully, that women are, you know, don't look to take advantage of someone based on their financial needs and based on the celebrity status and power, but they go out and ruin someone's life for their own financial gain. So that's also important. But that's another conversation I'd like to have with the women, not with the men right now. But I do want to wish you all good luck on that. What is the movement called again?
What about us?
What about us? I think that's awesome. And I hope you guys kind of work together and spearhead that, and that could be great things in the community to see other men come together on something so strong and so powerful, especially like now, when it's now that, you know, our community is kind of really being looked down upon in so many different directions. But on behalf of that, we're going to close out. Thank you for tuning in to Family and Community Media. We ask you to join us again next week or the next time we'll be playing. Always feel free to stop into Family and Community Empowerment. I'm going to put that address out again, 301 Merritt Avenue in Wheatley Heights. Again, I'm Lynn Davis. On behalf of everyone and my spouse, the director, Anthony Davis, We thank you, we appreciate you. Until next time, good night.